What's cracking like it, everybody? I got a question to ponder. What happens when politicians get too big for the people? Kind of like when churches get so big that the preacher don't talk to the people. What happens to that group of people that are being represented or led or fed or whatever you may call it by that person? I'm not picking on anybody. I'm not talking bad about anybody. But before the election, I reached out to Mike Johnson and Corey Mills. Mike Johnson took a 20-minute conversation with me from his personal cell phone. I could hear a lot going on in the background. And it was kind of cool that he took the time to talk to me and tell me what he was about and what he was running for. And obviously he lost and Corey won. But I also reached out to Corey Mills, and his campaign people apologized on behalf of him that he did not have time to talk to people right now. He was too busy with the election meetings and press conferences and all that. And then I talked to a friend of mine who is in this circle of that stuff. And he's like, Jonathan, Corey's way too big for you, man. You're never going to be able to talk to him. I was like, all right, I know my role. I'm just Jonathan Morris, between the rib guy. I'm nobody special. And that's cool. So now we're going to fast forward to Saturday at the Lake Mary Parade in Lake Mary, Florida. I saw Corey Mills walking by. He was on the outside of the market area, parade area. He had two police officers with him, and it appeared to either be two guys suited and booted or two guys armed guards. I couldn't really tell. They were in suits, very sophisticated looking, and I believe his wife was with him. It looked like his wife. Unapproachable, nobody even close to him, and maybe he's a high-profile guy with people wanting, a target on his head. I don't know. So I'm minding my business at the farmer's market, doing my boiled peanuts, getting things on, and I hear from behind me, Jonathan, is that you? And I turn around, and it's Mrs. Rachel Plankton with a baby on her hip, her husband, and Brian from the city. And she stopped me in the middle of everybody and had we just caught up. Hey, how you doing? How you been? And she comes by the shop off and on. And as she walked away, I thought, wow, two different politicians that represent people in Seminole County. One has armed protection around him, and he's very unapproachable. The other one has a baby on her hip, and she's walking around hanging out with the Americans she represents. And it touched my heart. And I really like Rachel. I really like her husband. I like for what they stand for. So I want to know your answer. What happens when politicians get too big for the people they represent? Let me know.